They're at it again. Now, I did promise myself that I'd actually avoid talking about these two, basically because, firstly, people might start to feel sorry for them, and secondly, because I don't want to give them the oxygen of publicity. But this is actually too good to be true. Now, in this country, we all know that when Harry announced he was getting married and to a woman of colour, I think you can still say that, the press were unanimously over the moon. It was headlines like, "The look of love." Oh, yes. A royal wedding was exactly what the country needed, and I, for one, couldn't wait to watch. However, unfortunately, in my eyes, the wheels started coming off when the pair began to preach about the environment. And then it transpired that they'd taken a load of private jets in a very short space of time. After getting flack from the press, not all deserved, I'll say, Harry and Meghan decided to leave this country for privacy. Well, that kind of started with a global interview with the world's most famous chat show host, Oprah Winfrey, where they whinged about the treatment they received from those around them, and where Oprah coined the phrase, "your truth," which amounted to 17 clear inconsistencies. They created a production company and signed a huge deal, one with Netflix, another with Spotify. And in an interview, Meghan said, "Life is about storytelling." You're not wrong. For us to be able to have storytelling through a truthful lens that is hopefully uplifting is going to be great. Knowing how many people that can land with and be able to give a voice to a lot of people that are underrepresented and aren't really heard. Then, of course, there was the podcast, The Me You Can't See, and the book, Bench, which is, I think, where most people left it. Ironically, it's about a father and his relationship with his children. These two don't appear to want one with theirs. More recently was that awful whirlwind tour of New York where they pretended to be royal despite having supposedly stepped down from actually being royal. They made a series of appearances around the Big Apple and met with political figures, including the New York Mayor, Bill de Blasio, and the US Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield. They visited children at a school in Harlem. They went to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, and then they appeared at the Global Citizen Live event in Central Park, where they called for vaccine equity. Meghan Markle then decided to interfere in American politics. She wrote an insipid letter to the Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, advocating for paid family leave. The Republicans were not impressed and told her to stick to acting. And in the letter, she talked about the times in her childhood where she was forced to participate in middle-class activities like getting a job and also eating at a salad bar. Well, we all know she went to a private school and her parents weren't short of a bob or two. Republican Jason Smith said this: "Ms. Markle's latest interference in US politics reignites the question in my mind as to why the royal family does not simply strip her and Harry officially of their titles, particularly since she insists on sending this under the pretence of being a Duchess of Sussex." Finally, I think the Americans are beginning to twig.